Thank you for being here today. I'm here to introduce to you two outstanding attorneys who are going to present the impeachment case in the Texas Senate on behalf of the House Board of Managers. These two men, DeGuerin and Hardin, bring decades of experience in high-profile criminal and civil matters. I am grateful that they have accepted the call to help the Board of Managers protect the rule of law and the integrity of elected offices in the state of Texas. As I've said before, the Texas Constitution provides that the Texas Senate is the venue for a full and open trial where both sides can present their arguments and the evidence. Our system relies on the Texas Senate to provide this full and fair trial so that Texans can see and hear the presentations of facts and the defense. And our system relies on the members of the Texas Senate to consider these matters in the form of a jury sitting as a court of impeachment with seriousness and objectivity so that justice can be served for all involved. The facts in this case are overwhelming and conclusive, and I have full confidence in these two esteemed attorneys to present those facts fairly and to help the people of Texas see the seriousness and the magnitude of Mr. Paxton's abuses of power. I'm happy to turn it over to Mr. DeGuerin and Mr. Hardin for statements.
Thank you, Chairman Murr. I'm honored to have the responsibility, along with my colleague, Hardin, to prosecute the 20 articles of impeachment against Attorney General Paxton. This is not about punishing Mr. Paxton. It's about protecting the public, protecting the citizens of Texas. As a lawyer with some 58 years of trial experience, joining my colleague Hardin with a few less, but not many less years of experience, we bring over 100 years of experience to this task, and we bring it gladly. I've also taught law school at the University of Texas for 25 of my years, and Rusty Hardin and I, have learned in all that time that no one wants a crook in the system. You cannot trust the outcome of trials, whether they're civil or criminal, unless there is a full and fair hearing of the accusations. And let me say that the articles of impeachment against General Paxton are just accusations at this point. Much like what a grand jury does, the House of Representatives voted overwhelmingly to bring these 20 articles of impeachment. They're very serious. They involve dereliction of duty, bribery, abuse of public trust, retaliation, conspiracy, misappropriation of public resources, and false statements by the top law enforcement agent of the state of Texas. The people of the state of Texas are entitled to know whether their top cop is a crook. We intend to present these 20 articles of impeachment in a fair way. We want to abide by the rules of evidence of the state of Texas, which apply to both civil and criminal trials. We want to bring fairness, which we lawyers call due process, to this procedure. The jurors will be the senators in the Texas Senate, and they will be presided over fairly. We want the accused, Mr. Paxton, to be able to call witnesses in his own behalf. We want him to have a lawyer or a set of lawyers representing him. We want them to be able to cross-examine our witnesses who will be sworn, and all the witnesses should be sworn and under oath. We know the importance of transparency in these proceedings because the people have a right to know. Once again, these articles of impeachment are accusations. The accusations have been made, so now let the evidence begin. Rusty.
Thank you. Thank you, Dick. I can't pass up the opportunity to talk about the irony of all this. First of all, though, I try to talk Dick out of talking about how many years we've been doing this. That if you want a transparent thing that says you've been doing it maybe longer than you want the world to know, he took care of that. And I think also I want to praise the committee and the chairman and the vice chair and the entire House for what they've done here. If we had registration in political registration in this state, I probably historically would have been registered as an independent. At different times, I've voted in the Democratic primary. At different times, I've voted in the Republican primary. I, like Dick, have represented Republican officials. I've prosecuted Republican officials. I've prosecuted Democratic officials. I've represented Democratic officials. I think Dick has done the same thing. About one of the differences in our experience together is simply the amount of time we were prosecutors. Dick started out as an assistant DA in Houston and was there a couple of years, and then went into private practice and has had the career I think everybody praises and is aware of.
Yeah, I fully recovered from my prosecutorial.
I probably never did, because over the years I've done some special prosecutions than others. One of the ironies of me being here today, I was just mentioning to someone, tomorrow I get on a plane to fly to New York for the 29th reunion of the Whitewater investigation, in which I was retained to be the trial lawyer the first year, and then I went back to my practice. It wasn't an impeachment proceeding then, but it was an investigation of President Clinton to see whether he should be referred to a grand jury, the very thing that's happened with these articles of impeachment. And so the irony that I'm standing here today, one day before we're celebrating 29 years in the past of looking at a Democratic president and whether he had abused his office when he was governor. And it brings me to what I really, really want to emphasize today. This is not about a Republican, and it's not about a Democrat. The impeachment process and the vote in the House shows that. I, as a citizen, was dumbfounded that the large number of Republicans voted the way they did. And I salute them for it. And I think the nation ought to salute, because it was an incident in which it said what is right and what is just should rise above party. And that's what happened in the Texas House. And that's the charge we've received from the chairman and the committee, is to ethically, fairly, but strongly pursue what both the committee and what we and the House think is a tremendous line of abuses of power. I was a prosecutor for over 15 years. I don't know the numbers and hundreds of thousands of cases I presented to a grand jury. This report is no different. This is not a full-blooded criminal trial. We talk about it being a quasi-criminal matter, proceeding, but we're going to be urging everybody all along. What needs to happen here is that the analogy should be, there should be witnesses, as has been said already. General Paxton should be able to present any and all defense he wants with witnesses. His lawyer should be allowed to cross-examine the witnesses we present, and we similarly should be able to bring live witnesses before the public. This proceeding needs to be public, and it's owed to the public at large to judge. I have to tell you that after only 1 week of having been contacted, but now officially beginning involved here, I was shocked at the details and facts of the allegations. This is not about a one-time misuse of an office. It's not about a two-time misuse of the office. It's about a pattern of misconduct and use in the office, subjecting to people who don't have a voice to basically threats and fear that if they come forward, they will pay a big price for it. The witnesses universally, with just like maybe one exception, expressed concern about retaliation, and yet they still came forward. And in this trial, this proceeding before the Senate, clearly deserves the light of day. The public, while they get ready for it, can go on the website of the House of Representatives and they can see the entire hearing. They can see the conduct that is presented by the really talented and hardworking staff that worked on behalf of the committee and is going to stay involved. You can find out what the facts are, and then you decide, doesn't this deserve a full airing before the entire public and world? Impeachment is not about punishing the offender. It is about protecting and serving the government and the public. Impeachment, for instance, is not a criminal trial in the sense that the Constitution of Texas makes clear if criminal authorities think that it's a criminal offense, they still can proceed, and investigations, according to the media, are ongoing. They can proceed in the criminal domain. But what the impeachment is about is to whether to remove that public official that is abusing their process while the determination is made. And that's it. This process doesn't impose criminal penalties. I want to ask you in the public to follow this closely, and the Senate will determine the rules. And once we determine the rules, we'll know how we go. I hope that as they develop them and as we go forward, we are going to have a full public hearing that allows both sides to present the evidence, that allows the public and the world to know just what happened here. Today's not a day to go into the facts, but I will tell you, when you talk about the allegations that are in the 20 violations that were presented, when you look at them, the first 5 involve a friend of the governor. When you talk about misuse of the process and misuse of the office, you then get to the firing of employees that were dedicated, conservative members of his own party, supporters. And what he did and through those activities will blow your mind. So, this is a way to say we're sounding the bell. We're going to start now. Dick and I and our firms and the others that we've already been helping are going to be gearing up and presenting the case with the rules that are developed by the Senate. We're not going to be obviously having contact with senators. They're the jury. But we hope and pray that this will be a process that allows the public to fully examine everything. And I promise you, it's 10 times worse than has been public, and that is you think. I want to thank you all for being here, and Mr. Chairman, it's your podium.
Thank you for being here today. We appreciate the opportunity to share this new information with you. They will do a fantastic job on behalf of the Board of Managers. Thank you.